Hello and welcome to Furiosa Movie Update number 5. In this video, we'll take a first look at Anya Taylor-Joy as Furiosa, and also we'll analyze a new set of pictures taken on the set in South Sydney, and we'll talk a little bit about the vehicles from the film. Let's begin. Right out of the gate, we get a first look at Anya Taylor-Joy as Furiosa on the set in South Sydney. Now, I'm only guessing that those were taken in the greener part of the set in Cornell, somewhere around here. And the first thing to notice is that Anya is wearing a green sleeve over her left arm, which obviously means that they will digitally remove that arm just like they did in Fury Road. So let's take a closer look at those pictures and analyze exactly what happened to Furiosa. First of all, Charlize Theron revealed in one of the older interviews that Furiosa lost her arm in an epic battle.
There's a really cool story behind it, a really cool story behind it.
And I suspect that those pictures show Furiosa just after she had lost her arm. I mean, if you notice her shirt, it's got blood stains right where her arm would have been cut off. And there's also no prosthetic arm, there's no harness around. And her makeup also indicates that she's been through a lot. I mean, she looks absolutely spent and just as if she had returned from some heavy battle. Another thing to notice is her long hair, and this is, of course, in line with the original design of Furiosa. A lot of people get hung up on the fact that older Furiosa, played by Charlize Theron, had a shaved head, but that was a last-minute addition to the character, which was suggested by Charlize herself, because, she did not want to deal with her hair, and, she thought that Furiosa wouldn't want to deal with long hair in the apocalypse either.
Is it George? We have to shave my head. And he just went, yes. And so the next day we did it.
But it turns out that Anya Taylor-Joy was ready to shave her head for the role as well, except that George Miller did not want her to do it, probably just to stay true to the original design of Furiosa. Now, we can also see a few other things in those pictures. First of all, she's standing next to the Citadel's elevator guards, and judging from those pictures, the function of those guards is still the same. Their job is to basically fend off the wretched trying to get onto the platform, and one of the guards is played by Australian Survivor star Mark Wales. And it's also worth mentioning that the guards seem to be wearing the same costumes they were wearing in Fury Road, so that's yet another thing that was reused from the sequel. Then there are a few war boys nearby, and a number of the wretched trying to get onto the platform, just like in Fury Road. And since I'm fairly familiar with the script for this film, it leads me to believe that this is one of the more pivotal scenes for Furiosa herself as she's trying to re-enter the Citadel. But this is as far as I'm going to go, all right? Now, speaking of reused elements from Fury Road, let's take a look at a couple of vehicles. First of all, one of the bikes used by the War Boys comes directly from Fury Road. It's the Yamaha 450, which was Dane Hallett's and Peter Siddell's love child. And to the left, we can catch a glimpse of the Nux car too, although it doesn't seem to look so shiny and chrome anymore. I'm very certain that this is the exact same car that we know from Fury Road. Another vehicle that you're definitely familiar with is the Doof Wagon. It was captured in one of the aerial pictures taken over Cornell, and this means that it's very likely that we're gonna see the Doof Warrior in this film, because you just can't have one without the other. And especially because the stuntman playing the Doof Warrior, Ben Smith Peterson, is confirmed to show up in this film as well. As far as new vehicles go, someone took a picture of the back of Furiosa's Kenworth, and in it we can finally get a good look at the hydraulic arms and their attachments. As it turns out, one of them is actually a grapple attachment, which leads me to believe that both of those arms can definitely be used as weapons. After all, the Buzzards gave a really good example on how to use those in a road battle, so I don't see how the new rig would be any different. In fact, come to think of it, using both of those in a road war opens up a lot of crazy possibilities, and I just cannot wait to see how they're going to go about that. Now, since there aren't any other new pictures or information about new vehicles, I went out of my way to do a little bit of digging myself, and I found out something about the monster tow truck that I was talking about in update number 4. I managed to find a very reliable source on the matter, which will remain anonymous for obvious reasons, but I've been informed that this truck is in fact based on an Australian monster truck called Samson. It's one of the oldest Australian monster trucks dating back to 1999, And apparently the production used that truck and modified it by installing an extra axle in the rear to make it a six-wheeler. And of course, the entire original fiberglass body was removed and a steel body of a Mack truck was put on top. And that's pretty much all I know about this one. I mean, we'll just have to wait for more pictures to get a little bit more info. But so far, it looks like it's going to be one of my favorites in the movie. It looks absolutely badass. Finally, let's focus a little bit on the set in Cornell. The most recent floodings in Sydney definitely did some damage to the set, and it looks like a lot of work went into bringing it back to a serviceable condition, although you can still see some larger bodies of water. And you could see a lot more of them in a news segment about the filming of Furiosa that aired on 7 News Sydney, but that footage was probably just shown once on TV, and it never made it online, so all we got left are pictures from the set which show that the production was actually using those oil rig-like structures for filming. And that leads me to believe that this part of the set will represent Gastown. And needless to say, the rest of the set will be filled in with CGI, which really should come as no surprise, as they did the exact same thing when they were filming Fury Road and they wanted to show the Citadel and a whole bunch of environments. So aside from that, it seems like the production mostly takes place on closed sound stages, and some of which you can actually see in Instagram reels from our usual suspects, CJ Bloomfield, David Collins, and Matthews Paz. In fact, I'm pretty certain that they're only allowed to film themselves walking in and out of makeup trailers, because I kid you not, that's the only stuff that they actually show, and I could make a whole compilation video of them doing just that. But David Collins took it a little bit further, and he showed us a day on the set of Furiosa, which basically boiled down to him being driven around by a guy called Michael, and showing us that it's really cold on the set.
Stay warm all day. They are the best.
And he was trying his best to hide some spoilers from us, but seriously, you gotta try harder, because he accidentally revealed one of the characters' names that was written right on the trailer, and it said Dementus' Sergeant Number 7, Smeg. Who's that character? Who knows? Who plays it? Who knows? But at least we got a name, and that's something. And of course, there's not a peep from Anya Taylor-Joy or Chris Hemsworth on their Instagrams. I mean, you can go and check yourself if you want to. You'll just probably find that, Chris is trying to sell you some kind of a workout program or something. And unfortunately, that is all I have for you today. I mean, this is just a quick update, which again got in the way of me working on some other videos. But this one had to be made, especially because there wasn't a whole lot of news regarding this film in the last couple of weeks. So hopefully we'll get much more info soon. And again, thank you for watching. I mean, if you enjoy what I do, then, please consider subscribing, leave some comments, likes, and all that stuff. And if you want to follow me and support what I do, then the links are down in the description. And that is it for now. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, stay shiny and chrome.